for the new year. Sorry for the little short delay. So anybody, if y'all tapped in, we here. We live. We live on stage now. Just gonna give a little quick prayer real quick before we get started, before we get everything locked in, and then we get going. All praises to the Creator. Let this platform be a vessel of your word. May we produce constructive content that honors our ancestors. We love you, we thank you, and we feel your presence with us. To those who came before us, we love and miss you deeply. Ashe. All right, now let's get to it, man. Everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in. I know it's been a little minute since we've been here. I got a special guest tonight. We're gonna talk about 2028 class of Ohio boys high school basketball. So it's gonna be a little just a little rundown and give you the little top prospects on in the state of Ohio. I hope y'all just gets locked in. We're gonna go give a little quick rundown. But first off, before we get to all that, I just want to thank everybody, man, who supported RDB 21, who been here with us since the beginning. This is kind of like our new year. It's our 1 year anniversary. Everybody who's been with us, who's tuned in and watched all past episodes, I really appreciate y'all, man, because it's I appreciate everybody just listening and taking their time out of their day to listen to our message. I hope I've been giving some constructive content. It's been a up and down year. I know I haven't put out a lot of content, but I try to, be constructive of what I did put out. This year is gonna be a little different. I got a little different, little some things coming up. Hopefully, I got some big interviews that I got a big interview coming up that I hope I can get, man. I'm just gonna give y'all a little piece of that for right now. Let you chew on that and see how that go. But if I can get that one, man, that's gonna be big, man. So that should be coming here soon. So that's something to look forward to. I got a big interview coming from another local basketball legend. So be tuned in for that one. Um, just like I said, it's been a difficult year. I had to make some adjustments. Went from being in the studio to being live, going live on YouTube, something new that I really ain't never did before. Um, so it's been kind of something different, man. I've been trying to get everything going. So I appreciate everybody, like I said, once again for staying with me and bearing with us. Um, hopefully, like I said, we're gonna have some more constructive content coming. My guest that I got coming on, Mr. Evan Roddy. I previously had him on with his son Makai. That was our last episode. He's gonna be my guest. He's gonna be tuning in. He's gonna be locked in here soon. So he's gonna be my partner as we give a little rundown of the little 2028 class. Um, like I said, I want to thank him. I want to thank Makai. I want to thank all the past guests who came on RDB 21 in this past year. Like I said, man, it's been a heck of a ride, man. I really appreciate everybody who has supported us. Um, one of my first guests was my son and Kobe Sharp. I want to, I, I give them a big thanks, man. I hope they paying attention. I hope they watching, man. I hope they know that they a big part of RDB 21. They helped us get going. So I appreciate them. Kobe. Then after that, I had Kenny Quinn. We had a good conversation talking about gun violence. I appreciate him, man. I really appreciate everything that he did. His son, Xander Quinn, is an up and coming eighth grader. He's playing with the Gahanna. He's in the Gahanna district, so go check out Xander. I'm gonna be hopefully I can get some more little info on Xander. Xander Quinn for Gahanna. Um, he's playing. He plays football and basketball, but I'm more of the basketball guy. I like to give the credit for the basketball. I want us to kind of stay away from this football because I want us to keep our brains together, man. we need our brain power to keep to get solve these problems we got out here. But like I said, I had my niece on, Trinity Collins. She gave us a little in-depth look into her experience in Japan, and some little future endeavors that she has going. She's got a lot going on right now, man. She's about to graduate from high school this year, so I just want to give her a shout out, man. I love her, man. Thank you. I want to thank her for coming on, most definitely. Um, for everybody that I'm giving shout outs to, my son Kobe Sharp, Kenny Quinn, Trinity, um, the Three Mugs podcast, Live Free, Fly Solo. They I want to give shout out to Meech Craft. He got made my made my sweatshirt for me. Go check him out on Live Free, Fly Solo. Check out his apparel line that he got going. Executive Edge MDS Car Detail Service. Go check that out. And go check out Humble Vet. Check him out on Instagram. That's the Three Mugs podcast. We had a little good conversation about their podcast and what they got going on. I just want to give them a big shout out. Like I said, this is our first year. These is all our past guests. And one of I told y'all, my most important guest that I probably had was Rashad Mosley. Rashad, man, like I can't say nothing else say too much else about Rashad, but man, Rashad is amazing, man. Or everybody who follows RDB 21, please join Trade to Freedom. I'm not trying to push that as just. I am trying to. I have a link to it on all my pages. If you want to join Trade to Freedom, you can always go check my Instagram page. There's a link on there to it. I'm telling you, man, it's something that it's not easy. Trading options isn't easy, but it's something that we all, as Black people, man, we need to. It's a trade. It's something that we need to. It's almost like a trade. It's a trade that we. It's a skill that we need to teach our kids. So it's something that I'm still learning, and I've been learning every more and more. The more I learn, the more I get better at it. And when it comes to this, the more you get better at it, the more money you make. So I think that's something that we all strive to do. So um, just please, man, just try to check out Trade to Freedom, man. Cause say Rashad, man, I want to give a big shout out to him, man. I want to thank him for coming onto the platform, man. That was big for us. Um, let's see, like I said, Makai and his father, they came on. That was our last episode of this of the year that we had just recently did. Like I said, so that has basically built this relationship that me and Evan Roddy has built to where we are here today. So um, anybody that's doing podcasting or anything like that, man, just it's a long journey, man. So just stick with it, man. It took me a year to get hooked up with Roddy, man. I wanted to, when I first started, I wanted to get with him, but it took us a year just to really get connected. And now, we starting off into some new things, man. I hope to add him to the platform, man, and you can get to hear from him a little bit more. He has a lot of knowledge about basketball, a lot of insight. That's what we saw. That's basically what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna get some insight on the 2028 class because he has a lot of insight on it. His son is a 2028 athlete, Mai Rody. So I know y'all know him. Well, you know about him if you listening to this. So just stay locked in with what we gonna talk about. Like I said, I'm just waiting for Evan to give me the go ahead. Whenever he's ready, I'll tune him in and lock him in. So I told him we weren't gonna get started until 9:15. So we got a little bit of time left. So I just told him, dude, give him a little second to get in here. But like I said, this 2028 class is something special, man. That's why we're talking about it tonight, man. So they got it's a lot of players out here, man, that we probably gonna be seeing on the next level in college. Some we're gonna possibly seeing in the NBA. So, um, like I said, uh, Evan, his son Makai is a 2028 class member. So You know, I don't we ain't gonna be biased when we speaking on it. I know everybody think we probably are, but I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna give my honest opinion about it. I do love Makai. I think he is one of the top players. So he will be recognized and he will be mentioned. So, you know, I'm just gonna let everybody know that it's no bias, man. We just talking about athletes and letting you know who's the best and giving you a little rundown of what we came up with. And also, I want to give a shout out to all the people, all the sources that I read that I did that we basically going to talk about. All the people, the list that we accumulated. See, I don't have my own list or anything like that. So all these lists that we got, they came from other people. So I'm gonna give them their credit. George Howard, he came out with a list that we're gonna be citing. I'll be giving you a little rundown of that list. Um, Prep Hoops. We got information from Prep Hoops. There's a list that they put out. So these are the lists that we looked at to kind of like collaborate and let you know, like, these are the top players and kind of the consensus on who's who. And so we're not gonna talk about everybody. I'll give a little rundown of most of the players and everything like that. But when it comes to the we just gonna give a little quick rundown about who's who and who's what. Um Also, like I said, George Howard. He's the director of the boys Phenom Adidas team. Um, so he's pretty connected. He's pretty well connected. So I want to give him his respect and let him know like we're using his list because I respect his opinion. So I think he has a pretty good list. He has Makai on his list, so I feel like his list is legitimate, and he does know the area. So he's just a local. He's one person that has his own list. But Prep Hoops, they're a publication. So if you know about Prep Hoops, if you know anything about high school basketball, Prep Hoops puts out rankings all the time. So that was one of the places that I looked. I even Googled a list. Google came up with almost the consensus of players, almost similar to Prep Hoops and all that. So Gemini, Google, they basically came up with a similar uh, list of players and names also. So the names that we're gonna be talking about basically come from those sources. I believe there's one more source that I don't want to. I want to give everybody their credit. Uh, yeah, Bleacher Prospect. They have a list that we're gonna be citing from. So those are all the lists pretty much that we got all these names from that we're gonna be talking about tonight. So just sit back. I'm gonna while I'm sitting here while I'm waiting for Evan to get on, man. I'm gonna give a little rundown, like I said, of the list. I'm gonna give a little rundown of what each the publications put out because like I said, they all put out their own little they all put out their own list of 15 to 10 players. So this is Bleacher Prospects 2028 rankings, and they have number one, and this is the pretty much he's the consensus pretty much the number one player when it comes to the 2028 class. And that's Cam Mercer. He's 6'5", swing wing guard from he's at Cincinnati Princeton right now. He's number one. This is Bleacher Prospects 2028 class rankings, which just recently came out. I'm not as sure the exact date, but they just recently just put this list out. So we got Cam Mercer number one, number two. So now I'm just gonna give everybody's name and height because the first time I'm gonna say the names. Next time when I say the list, I ain't gonna go through all the heights and all that because you heard their names already. So I'm just gonna get their names and heights and everything right now because this is so you guys kind of can get a idea who these guys are and their heights and what positions they play. One thing I would say about Ohio, there's not really a lot of bigs. So most of these players is guards. We don't got too many centers out here. Ain't no 7 footers in out here in Ohio. We don't have too many. Most of the 7 footers they're at prep schools pretty much. So all right, let me get back to the list. All right, number two is Dylan Ziegler. He's a 6'3" guard from Lutheran East. Number 3 is Keonte Smith, 6'5" from Dayton Northridge. We got Deshawn Coffee, 6 foot from Lebanon. Number 5 is Max Joyner. He's a 6'5". I believe he's like a swing. He's like a wing. He's from Summit Country Day. And number 6 is Xavier Jones, 6'3" from Westerville South. Number 7 is Chris Polnitz the third. He's 6'2" from St. Francis de Sales, and that's Toledo, I believe. Not St. Francis de Sales, Columbus. I believe St. Francis de Sales, Toledo. Number 8 is Luca Filia, and he's a 6'2" from Olentangy, Berlin. Number 9 is Ice Taylor, 6'2" from Hawken. Number 10 is LaShawn Hill, 5'10", Cincinnati Hughes. Number 11 is Kip Norris, 6'2", Hilliard Bradley. Number 12 is Carlos Vaughn Jr., 6'5", from St. Ignatius. Number 13, Elon Stearns, 6'7", from Lyman Senior. And number 14 is Quaylen Howard, 6'9", from Warrensville Heights. And number 15 is Brady Bowman, 6'2", from Lakota East. And this is Bleacher Prospects. This is their rankings. So I'm just gonna give you their that was their list. They had a list of 15. These other lists, they're a lot shorter. Um, this is George Howard's list. He came up with this is Coach Howard's 2028 Fantastic Seven. This is what he called his list. He has number 1, Cameron Mercer, number 2, Dylan Ziegler. He has number 3, Deshawn Coffee, number 4, Max Joyner, number 5, Keonte Smith, number 6, Xavier Jones, and number 7, Mai Rody. But that's Coach Howard. That's George Howard from like I said, he's from Adidas prep. He's Adidas Phenom. He's their director, I believe. Player director. I'm not really sure his whole exact title, but I know he's affiliated with the Adidas Phenom team. Darren Peterson's father runs that program. So he's the head of it, and I think he's the director of it. So he's pretty locked in with all that with a lot of the talent around the state. So he knows a lot of the players. So that's why I put his list out there because he's pretty respected around the area. So I think he has a pretty good eye about who's who, and his list is pretty. I pretty much agree with his list. It's not. I don't have no disagreements about what he put out, and it's pretty much most of these lists. It's like here we go. This is the Prep Hoops Ohio list. They pretty much have the same list. It's just in a little different order, and there's a couple players that's on here that's not. So Prep Hoops, they have a list of 7 players also, and they have Cameron Mercer, Dylan Ziegler, Keonte Smith, Xavier Jones, Chris Polnitz, and Max Joyner, and Deshawn Coffee. So their list is similar to Coach Howard's list. It's not much different, but they basically have like just a couple of. They don't have uh Mai Rody. He's not on this list, and I think they have Chris Polnitz on this list, and uh Coach Howard, he doesn't have Chris Polnitz on his list. I don't believe. No, he doesn't. So I was just waiting for Roddy to get on here, so I'm just gonna give a little bit more of my input on about like I said on the players and who's who, and like I said, all those players on this list, I this is a great class. So like I said, I'm basically just giving that was the rundown of the list and everybody that's on those lists, so you can kind of evaluate on who you think is who. That's how I accumulated pretty much. There was another list, 24/7 Sports, I believe. They had a list. I couldn't see the whole list, but they had Keonte Smith ranked number 1. and he was so that kind of shocked me, man, when I had him on there. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, we got King Roddy locked in now, man. How you doing, man?
Hey man, blessings to the game, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All
Been a,
right. All
been a
right.
while. Excuse
Yes,
me,
sir.
just finished up dinner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. Do
pardon
your
me,
thing.
my tardiness.
No, that's all right.
But
That's all right. I got my food off to the side, man. I wish I could. I wanted to duck over here real quick, but it's all right. But yeah,
yeah,
man, it's good to see you, man. I was just going.
likewise.
I did a little rundown, man. I don't know if you seen. I gave I ran down all the lists. I did Coach Howard's list. I ran them all down and just named all the players and everything. So
Okay,
I gave
okay,
out the list and everything. So that's already out there. I basically was going, let you come in and get your input on what you think about it. Like I said, I
okay,
told everybody basically what it is. 2028 class. Like I said,
okay.
everybody, this Evan Roddy,
Yeah.
he was a previous guest on our RDB 21. Welcome me
hmm
back. Like I said, man, I appreciate him, man, coming on here. Me and him, man,
For, sh-
it's been a little while since we spoke, but me and him had some a lot of conversations since. So we had to get on here,
yeah.
man, to let y'all know what we've been talking about. So I'm
It's
gonna
a, it's
let you introduce yourself, man, and let everybody know. Just give a little brief introduction.
for sure, man. Thank you. Good to be seen. Good to be back on the RDB podcast, man. It's a wonderful blessing. If you don't know, my name is Roddy. Go by Roddy. Everybody knows me by Roddy here in Columbus, Ohio. Just father, coach, trainer, uh, advocate in the community. About really, really close and hands on with the basketball community.
All right, yep, yep. That's it. That's like I said, man. So
So
basically,
I didn't
man.
know. I don't know where we because again I'm just tapping in. So I didn't know what list you started at. Where are we
Oh,
starting at? Are
okay.
we just what are we talking about? Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Are we talking about the 2 months of basketball, previous months to end the year off, 2025 November December? Are we where are we at? Are we talking about a certain class? Where are we at?
Yeah, I was basically letting them know we was gonna give them a little. I just gave them a little rundown of the top players in the 2028 class. I told them how we was just gonna give them a little rundown of the
hmm
top players in the class. And but yeah,
hmm
but like I said, since you here, we can go over, like, yeah, we can talk about the past couple months. This is the opening. The season just started.
hmm
We can give a
For
little
sure.
rundown. Like I said, we can go on. We can give a little rundown right now. Just just these past 2 months right now. To just really just
Yeah.
what's been going on.
Yeah.
Some of the top games and just
hmm
what didn't panned out. Like I said, I gave the
Yeah.
list already, so they know all the
Okay.
players on the
Okay.
2028
Okay.
class, so they didn't
Yeah.
heard all that.
There's a few lists here in Columbus, Ohio, actually in Central Ohio, as well as around Ohio, that has did their um put out a ranking list, so to speak. So we just gonna go over those things. I want to hear from your perspective. What do you think should go into a ranking list when people put out ranking list? I would like to hear your. It doesn't have to be a long, like a top 1 through 10, but maybe 5 good points that you think uh, will should someone putting out a list that will give it credibility. I think we could kind of start from there, and then we can dive into just the games that you've attended here in the Central Ohio area, and some things that I would definitely that I've attended, and we can kind of bounce back off before. So just one recap: what do you think should go into a ranking list, in your opinion, when it comes down to like the one being the most important to 5 being the least important when it goes into a ranking list?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question, man. I didn't really think about that. Personally, man, me personally with the list. like I said, with rankings, I look at the rankings and all that. It's something that I look at, but a lot of times that's why we on here talking about the rankings because I really don't know how they rank the rankings and how they put them together myself. So that's one thing. That's one thing I really don't know.
Right,
what
right.
I don't really know the criteria for it because I'm like, what is it? Me personally, what I look at, I mean, um, when I look at the list and I see these lists that people have put out, most of it is based off of like these guys they've been around a lot of different, they've went to a lot of different camps and they've got a lot of exposure in different aspects. So um they went to the different like like different showcase events and people know their names and they've been around like the number one player, Cam Mercer.
Some reason I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah, you
I
blacked
can't
out.
hear you as
You
loud as
blacked
I
out. I can't
once
even see you
was.
no more.
Let me tap out and then I'm gonna tap back in.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, just to get back to what he was saying, I mean, rankings, I really don't know, honestly, what's the criteria for it. Mm, Let me see if I can get him back on here. You good? I can't hear you now. I can't hear you now. Yeah, I can't. You was good before. I can't hear you now. The microphone is on. I can't. Now I see you talking, but I can't hear nothing you saying. Nope, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. All right. Yeah, bear with us, please, man. Hope everything we can get everything back together. It's gonna pop back up. We get it back right. But yeah, like I said, back to the with the rankings, man. I mean, I don't know. That was a good question, man. I didn't really I wasn't expecting that from him. I didn't know I was on. I didn't even think about that honestly. There it is. I hear you now.
You can hear me? Okay. All right. Yeah. Sometimes YouTube's a little funny when you might close out something thinking you're hitting the button and then it might just it might kind of, you know,
Yeah, we
kind of
good.
sometimes you tap in and tap back out, sort of like that. So we're here. So yeah,
Okay.
where
But
was you at in your what you were saying?
yeah, well, like I said, man, I was just trying to say, like, I really don't know, man. Honestly, as far as like me personally, when I look at it, I just look at I mean, it's really based off of, I mean, all this stuff is off of eye test, man, what we done seen
Mhm,
and what we haven't seen. So what
mhm.
they've done in certain events and here and there, and we've seen what they've done. So that's what I was saying. Like most of these guys, they've been put on high stages. Like Cam Mercer, he's number one. He's played for the USA team. He's
Yeah,
been he's been a different like he's been playing for overtime elite. Like he
yeah.
has a lot of exposure. So I mean, that's what I ain't saying I'm not trying to say he doesn't deserve to be the best play number one player,
Here in
but
Ohio.
I mean that's why he's number one because he's like
True,
really
true.
he's the most popular. And
Yes.
I'm not saying he's not number one, but I
Mhm.
mean I don't know. I
No, no,
don't
no,
know.
no. Well, I think kind of to what you saying about eye tests. Some people, do that. Um, I'll give my things on I think how some of those people on those ranking lists operate. I think there was three that we shared. We'll talk about prep U hoops. Then we'll talk about prep hoops, and then we'll talk about George Howard, Coach Howard's ranking list that he just dropped a couple weeks ago, and then Bleacher. What was that? Bleacher Prospect.
Yeah, I gave up. I ran down all those lists. I ran
How
all
many
of
did
them
you do?
down.
How many did you
All
talk
I
about? How
did
many
those
lists?
three. I did
Oh,
those
those
three.
three,
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
Okay. So
And then
which just which ones did you talk about in? in
I ran down all the lists. I ran down the players on each individual list, and I just was
okay.
telling everybody how these are the lists, and these are the players on the list, and I ran down the whole list. I just ran the list down while I was trying to
Mhm.
just while I was waiting for you. I just gave everybody the list on each one, and I gave
Okay.
everybody their credit. I gave George's credit.
Mhm.
I told everybody where we got our information from and everything from
Mhm.
Bleacher Report, from Prep Hoops, and from Bleacher Prospect. Those is our sources. So I told them all about the list. So they
Okay.
know about the list. So
For sure, for sure. So in my opinion, I think a lot of the guys that go on do these ranking lists, first and foremost, a ranking list is just someone's opinion.
yeah, yep.
Someone's opinion of you, you're talking about maybe are is a fan of basketball, maybe, does its due diligence to go out and watch these particular players uh, to in their maybe during their school season if they're privileged enough to do their watch some of their AAU season. So again, I think the ranking list is all opinionated. Do I think that the way they rank their players on these particular lists does it from a standard of basketball intention, meaning a high priority of basketball, and that is production. That is, are they helping producing wins? Are they impacting the possession? Are they impacting the quarter, the half? Are they consistent? Are they efficient? Those are some examples of what I mean by basketball intent. I just don't think these people who put these ranking lists out put that as being a one or two priority. I think how they do it is potential first. Second, I think they go off of what is the basketball community saying about these particular players. Third, I think they might say, do I personally like them? Fourth might be a height test, might be how tall they are. Five, I think they might say, hey, is there social media influence behind this particular player? Six, I think just going staying to that five, if you noticed how I didn't say basketball intention or, basketball efficiency. Are they efficient? Are they consistent? If you move this particular player to a different school, are they going to produce? Some of these guys on this ranking list are a little older. Some of them are reclass. Some of them are being coached by their dad. Some of them have a politic behind them. So, which is no harm, no foul. But I just don't, in my opinion, like I said, I don't think that they have a basketball intention very, very high when they're putting these lists together.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that aspect of it, man. So I said it's the list, man. The list is the list, man. That's why I say
Mhm.
it just give us something to talk about, man. Really, that's
Right.
what I was saying when you asked me about the list. Like me personally, man, that's why we talking about the list because
Yeah.
I don't want to make no list. It ain't no list. Like
Right.
it
Right.
ain't. You just go out here like we'll see. We gonna see who it is. Like the list, like, who knows, man? Like that list,
Mhm.
them people, man.
It's
We
going to
seen it over the
change.
years, man. The
Yeah,
number,
it's going to
the
change. It's a
yeah,
36-month process. What do
yeah.
you think about, where you got, I think, three or four lists? Some players are one through there. There might be a collection of players that are in that top five. Some of them might be, one through 10. Some of them might not even be on certain lists,
The list of the
so
2028 class, the list of any list,
perfect.
any rankings list. That's what
Mhm.
somebody asked that in the chat. That's what we talking about. We talking about rankings, the rankings of high school basketball players.
Here in Columbus, here in Ohio, some of them are Columbus based, but we're just talking about Ohio basketball of the list that has been created through the basketball community here in 2028, which is, let's be specific, the 2028 class is the sophomore class that is pretty. I think a lot of the basketball world was excited and is excited about the 2025 class that just graduated. I mean, and you can see rightfully so that the 2025 class is making a lot of noise at the next level. You know, a lot of those kids that was on the 2025 list were are major deep division ones. Some of them are going to be in the 2026 draft class and going to go first round. So I think that no knock to the 26 class, no knock to the 2027 class, but a lot of people here in Ohio is really, really excited about the 2028 class, and not just here in Ohio, Central Ohio, but I do believe nationally wise that they're excited about uh they're going to be excited about the 2028 class across the nation. Yeah, shout out to you Josiah. Shout out to you, man. Yes, you will be, man. Just continue to work, continue to grind wherever you're at, and just stay. If you're on the list, it's cool, but remember, it's not the end all be all of that. So shout out to you, man, being the shooting guard for your team. And it seems like you might be in middle school right now. I think so, because we're talking about the sophomore class. So you might be in middle school. I'm not for sure. Type that in the chat, Josiah, what middle school you go to, so we can shout your middle school out too as well. So let's talk about the list, man. Let's get
All
into
right.
it.
All right. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
list we going? What list we going to first?
Oh, sure. Like I said, man, all this we can. They all. I put it's a consent. The list got a consensus list, man. I was like I said, George's list and Prep Hoops list both is almost the same.
Okay.
Only thing George got Makai on there. Prep Hoops they don't have Makai. And they got
Where are you going with the list? Are you going 1 through 7? Are you going 1 through 10? Are you going 1 through 5? What do you want to
oh
do?
no, so like I said, man, I was just what I was gonna do. I was just going I got a couple little I got a couple players on here that I was gonna just give a little background on, man. And this
Okay.
is just a little bit, just a little background on them. So just
Okay.
talk like I said, we can talk about that's group of seven that we got on there. That's mostly it, man. We can really,
Okay.
you know what I'm
All right.
saying?
Well, you shouted out Cam Mercer. Let me speak on
Yeah.
Cam. Cam is a phenomenal player. He's about 6'4", 6'5", lefty, can shoot it, can do it a little bit of all, get downhill and transition. I think he's strong, both can go both hands. Cam is the reason Cam is number one, obviously, because you mentioned a couple accolades where he was on Team USA 16U this past summer, which I do believe they won gold in their division. Brought home the gold, represented him. He also played 16 in his EYBL team, on his EYBL team with, I want to say,
Andy
Indy
Heat.
Heat. Yeah, I think it was MD Heat where they won the EYBL championship, and I know he was a big he had a big part in that success. You know, I think he might have been six or coming off starting. So whatever he was playing up, and he found success, and the program found success to win the EYBL, which is not a easy task. And then you mentioned the OTE situation. I know he just came. He had a nice run with OTE. I do believe it was Rod Wave Elite, but he came back to the state of Ohio down there. Cam is from Cincinnati area. I do believe he goes to the school Cincinnati Princeton. So, and then another thing, Cam is on ESPN top 25 amongst the 2028 class. So, due respect to Cam, he's going to get number one with coming back to the city, coming back to the state of Ohio. With all that being said, now I think he is a summertime birthday boy, so he's 16 years old already, which it really doesn't matter. But in some eyes, that does matter. You know what I mean? In some people's eyes, people I've talked to, he's a 2009 baby. A lot of people in 2028 are 2010 babies. So like I said, it doesn't matter. Uh, Rightfully, respectfully, number one, I can definitely agree with that. You know,
Yeah, he was the first. I want to say, was he the first player to get an NIL contract? He got an NIL contract with Panini Card Company.
well, yeah, not the well, yeah. I want to say I'm not for sure to
Is that because I'm assuming
to
that's why he
speak
left to
on.
go to
I
OTE.
know
That was why.
there was a couple high school players before Cam that got NIL deal, but he
Yeah,
might be one of the first in the
yeah.
2028 class. So I
Okay,
don't know.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
for sure. But he is a part of that small group in the high school because not a lot of high schoolers do have a not a high, let me not a lot of high school basketball players have a NIL deal. So he's in a small select group that has achieved that NIL success so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that's Cam Mercer. That was pretty much it. That was a good observation on Cam. Like I said, I haven't really never really seen Cam play. I've seen some highlights of him and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
from what I've seen, he kind of they I've seen where they kind of compared him to a young Jason Tatum. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah,
He kind of plays similar. One thing I say
I
about
can
these
kind of see that a little bit.
some of these young boys, man, I've been noticing a lot of these young boys are lefties. He's a lefty. There's a couple
Yeah,
other ones too, man. I was like,
yeah,
man, all
yeah,
these boys is
yeah.
lefties. Like
There's
Marcus
some left.
Johnson is
Yeah,
a lefty. I'm like,
yeah,
man, what
yeah,
these lefties is some snipers out here.
yeah, yeah.
But
Let me pause. Just say for the audience, man, if you're privileged to watch with us live, if you watching the replay, we just ask you to just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you could kind of be updated when we go live again, or anytime you want to just see some good content talking about basketball here in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. So we just ask you just to be respectful and just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you feel like whatever's being said is going to be beneficial to you or somebody, don't hesitate to hit that share button too as well, man. We want to show love, and we appreciate when the love is shown too as well. So you can do that by hitting the like button. Hey, and it's free. It's free. It's not hurting you, not charging you nothing. So just please be attentive to the like button. Thank you.
yep, yep, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
Josiah, we appreciate you, man. Keep
Yep.
locking in with
Yep.
us,
Yeah,
man.
he is a bucket. Josiah, he is. He is. Cam is a bucket, man. Cam is a player for sure. You got
Yeah,
your work cut out on him. Obviously there's some room for improvement, and along with all these players. But yeah, Cam is rightfully definitely consensus number one across the board, just because he did have a good spring and summer, with everything he achieved with this basketball thing, and then like I said, playing up, but so we definitely shout out to Cam Mercer down there in Cincinnati, 513. Shout out to you boys in the 513, man. Y'all keep on working, man. Keep on grinding for sure.
yes, sir, yes, sir. All right, yep, Cam. That was Cam Mercer. Next player we're gonna go to is talk about Dylan Ziegler from Lutheran East and up in
Louise,
Cleveland.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Lou East.
so
Shout out to Lou. Shout out to the Northeast, Cleveland, North Ohio. Got a chance to watch Ziggler. Didn't seem too much. Kind of been hearing about him. I know Ziggler is one of the young ones in the 2028 class here in Columbus. I mean in Ohio. I think he might be 15 or just turning 16. But I know he is definitely a young one. Got a chance to play him. Ziggler should be number two because he did come into his high school program, and he was immediate impact, for the program. I don't know if he started or not last season, but they won the state championship. So when you win a state, regardless of what, I think they might be D5, D5 or D6, but regardless of whatever division that is, um, you winning a state championship and helping and being scoring points, playing tough defense, getting rebounds, just being on the floor as a freshman. I think that's well deserved. That trumps a lot because and that's another part of the basketball intent. Are you winning? Are you helping? I think I said that. Are you helping to win? Are you helping to produce wins? And that's definitely what Ziggler did with this past 2025 basketball season, here in Central Ohio. And I think he had a decent AAU season on the EYBL too. I don't think they did it great, but he did have, I think, a nice individual stat wise EYBL run through those 12 games that he played with his organization down in Indiana.
Okay, yeah, I would say
Would you?
about
And we talked about and I want to. What did you think seeing Ziggler yourself? Because we got Reynoldsburg and Ziggler and Luther and he's got a chance to play.
yeah,
So if we just based it off of, if you
yeah,
maybe go off of that game, what
yeah,
did you see as far as from him? Did he look like the top two player in the state to you? We just giving opinions.
yeah. I mean, from like I said, I
I
think
know he
I
only
watched
had.
him.
I
I
think he
seen him.
only had six. I think my fault. I'll let you go. I think he after this. I think he had 6 points. Then I think he ended up finishing with like 8 points. Got a nice little dunk at the end when it was pretty much decided. But I think he finished with six. Well, I'm sorry, he finished with 8. Like I said, he
Yeah,
got that last little dunk at the end. I think he might have scored a point per per quarter.
yeah. Well,
So
my first impression of him in that game, he didn't really do a whole lot in that game. I didn't think he played a solid game. But I got to see him again when they played again. I watched them on YouTube when they played up here at the little showcase that they had at Garfield Heights. So I
mhm.
can't remember the team. Who did they play? I can't remember who they played now.
Yeah,
Um, man,
it wasn't a tough team. It was a Warren.
was it
I think I think it was like a Warren something, but
was it
I
Warrensville
went on Mac.
Heights? Was that
Yeah,
Warrensville Heights that they? Okay,
I went to
Warrensville
Max Prep.
Warrensville
I
Heights
went to
actually they have one of I didn't know that the Juwan Howland guy. He's one of the top players. Do you know him?
No, I just was going off their record. I know on Max Preps, they are like they
All right,
only
that
won like
I was
one or
gonna tell
two
you. You know
games.
that
Yeah, they
that's
didn't.
that Warrensville Heights. That's Michi Johnson. He coaches them.
Okay, yeah, that's the brother.
Yeah,
For
yep,
yeah, so yeah, but
yep,
again,
yeah,
they don't have like a winning
yeah,
record. I don't
yeah.
even think
Nah,
they're above
they don't,
500. So
they
it's
don't.
those
But
games are kind of like based on
yeah,
the coach's relationship with
yeah,
obviously his brother and stuff like
yep,
that, and then everybody's kind of northeast Ohio. So go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. I like. I'm gonna say what I say about. Like I said, first against Reynoldsburg, he really didn't do too much. I didn't think he was a part of the. You can see he's a key part of their offense. He
Mhm,
makes. So that's one thing. That's one thing. What I will say about him, and this is what I do. I like him, man. I like Dylan, man. Like just watching him. The last game when they played against Warrensville Heights, just their team. Like I like their team, man. Like they are a team, not just him. Just they obviously Luther and Eastman. I think they got a good program, man. I don't know who their coaches are or anything like that, but they obviously got a good program because they producing some good talent. And just like you're saying, Dylan, he was a freshman. He won the state championship. So he's a winner, man. So you gotta give him some respect for that. And this team, their team this year, they undefeated. So I mean, you gotta he's a winner, man. So
mhm.
that's like you saying, man. When you win games, he impacting the game in some kind of way. So he impacting winning, and he's a and one thing I will say, like I said, that's what I'll say about him. As far as being I think he's more off. A lot of him is about potential too, and him being in that program. That's a part of the reason why he is, and I understand. I see it because he reminds me. He reminds me like of a younger Marcus Johnson, a little bit,
Oh,
and a little bit. He young man. He still all these that's one thing we all these guys in this 2028 class they young so they all got room to grow and they all of them, they just all coming into their game. So that's one thing I will say about them. And that's why I see about him. That's why I say I like him because I can see he's physically got to get stronger because he's kind of slight too. So he got a lot of maturing to grow to do in his career. So as he grows and gets older, I think he gonna be a solid player.
Cool.
And but yeah, like I said, that was and just like with he already we was talking about Ziegler, he already has an offer from Ohio State, so he's being recognized pretty much across the board. So he got a lot of potential. So we'll see how it work out for him, man. But I do like Dylan, man. I do like Ziegler. I like his game. I think that like I said, he ain't real flashy or nothing like that. But he in a good system, man. So I think that's gonna help him out. That's another thing too. His coaching is gonna get him to the next level, I feel like. So
Mhm.
that's another
Mhm.
reason why I feel like he got a
Yeah,
lot of potential.
being in a less competitive conference helps the journey. When you can win.
Yeah,
I don't know why TJ Crumble left, but
yeah,
he TJ Crumble was a top player here in Ohio too as well. Chose to go to a team in New York, but when you play in a not a powerhouse type of conference in a division, it always kind of gives you that extra push.
yeah,
It definitely, you don't, because you're not playing strong teams in your conference in your regular season. So yeah, I definitely agree, man. Those coaches, they're competitive, they're hard, they coach hard, they coach with passion, and then you see it in their players. Yeah, shout out to Ziggler. I think he averaged about 10 or 12 points through his EYBL season this past year, which is good for sure. Like I said, 12 games playing against top tier competition. That's phenomenal when you can average 12 to 13 or 10 to 12 points. 10 to 12, I mean, any points in the EYBL is good, especially in double digits. So, yeah, shout out to him for sure.
yeah. All right, yeah. We can move on to let's see, talk about Keonte Smith, from Dayton Northridge. You know anything about
Okay.
him?
What do you know about him?
Well, I see. I just recently, he kind of caught my eye because he just came down here and they beat Linden, man. They beat Linden
Oh,
84 to 47, and I want to say he had like
oh,
20 twenty
Linden,
five
Linden. You
points.
talking about Linden from the Columbus City Schools?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
they
Linden.
did, they did, yeah. Shout out to them. But they came down here and played Westerville North too, who was the Division II state champions, and now they got kind of blasted by like 40 or 50 points.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
mean,
they
Linden.
did.
Yeah, Keonte George, yeah, yep.
Okay.
I think he helped. I think he got a dub against in the Midwest. I want to say Adidas. I don't think it
Yeah,
was the
that's who we
Phenom
played with.
United or the
It's
it
it's
was
the
it was
mid.
like this.
It's
Yeah,
the
it
mid.
was like the second tier Adidas. It wasn't the top tier, but
I
it was
want to
like
say
the
it's that select team or something that he play on. Some kind of.
yeah. Well, he played with Midwest. Yeah,
That's the
Midwest.
name of it. That's the name of it. That's the name
Yeah,
of
yep, and
it.
they definitely won. But like I said, when you're not playing that higher tier, but I think he's joining All Ohio Red, which is going to
Yeah.
be a good look.
Yep.
Moving over to the EYBL, a lot of faster paced basketball, a lot more athletic dogs that you'll probably face coming this spring and this summer. So I think it'll be a good test, man. Yeah, but when Westerville North versus Linden, I think I mean, who you got winning that game if Westerville North and Linden played, and matched
I hear
up,
you. I hear you. It is a
So
big.
yeah,
It's a big
yeah,
match. A big
you
difference for
can't really
sure.
judge that against Linden. You take him off of that in that game. I think they still win pretty comfortably. You know what I mean? Linden's really not. no knock to the Linden fellas and what they got going on over there, but they're not even favored to win the North Division in the CCS league. So shout out to them. But it was a good game, probably a good game. Definitely. I don't. Did you see how he played in that game?
I seen he looked like he had a pretty he played pretty good. He had a good game. He had about 25 points, I believe. He had a I didn't know also his older brother plays on that team too. I didn't know that. His
Yeah,
older
yeah,
brother is the point guard, so I guess he got a younger brother too. So they got a he and I had looked up a little. He a football player too, so I could see
yeah,
how he.
yeah, yeah. His older brother in the Westerville North game kind of undercutted Tony Cornette, which was kind of like a crazy play. To kind of undercut somebody going to the basket. I don't think that was a good play, but I think cooler heads prevailed.
When did they play?
But
When did they play?
oh, I think that was like early December.
Oh, okay,
I think it was like during Thanksgiving break. So like right after, I think
okay.
that Saturday or that Friday
Oh,
before
okay, all right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I ain't know. I ain't know they played this year. I ain't know they played.
oh yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
was a tough showing. It was a tough game. Like I said, I think it was a 30 or 40 point loss. But like I said, Westerville North is shit. They Division 2 state champions. You know what I mean? So shit, that's
Yep.
what you kind of expect. That might
Yeah.
have been a good test for them. You know what I mean? So when they came back to Columbus the second time around, you see they improved and got a win against Linden. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I heard I haven't seen a whole lot of him. Heard he has a nice body. That's one of those ones that again, when you win an AAU championship, you give respect to that. But again, I think that's one of those numbers that I said potential and height. Those are type of considerations with a lot of them. I don't think he's like a consistent. Where he gonna give you a. You said he had 25 against Linden, but you asked those guys at Westerville North what was that stat line. I don't think it was in. I think it was nowhere near those 20s. Nowhere near those double digits. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
Yeah, like I said, man, it's the list, man. All these boys, man, they all sophomores, so they finding their way. They trying to find their
absolutely,
way.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So all right, let's move on to Max Joyner.
What did
Uh
you know about him?
I've seen little highlights and clips of him. I seen last year they went on a nice little run in the playoffs where I was kind of hearing his name and things like that. Um, I had seen a little clip. I guess he was playing on the Adidas circuit also. With he was playing with an indie team. I don't know whatever team it was from Indiana on the Adidas circuit. He had played on that team, and I guess he did real well on when they went to Vegas, I guess he was one of the top players out there, and that's where he got a lot of recognition as far as that during the AAU season.
Mhm.
Um, so this year, I think he's been having a pretty solid year this year. I see George had moved him up. George had him up pretty high on his list. He had him at number 4, so that kind of surprised me. Yeah, he had him up there pretty high. So like I said, he seems like he's like like a wing. I mean, I haven't really seen him play in person, so I can't really say. I've seen little clips of him, highlights and things like that. He looked like he athletic and he can get into the basket. He go to the basket strong. Um, so he another kid, man. He still gotta fill out, but he seemed like he got a lot of potential, man, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, God, he has a motor, man. Max, one thing about him, he's gonna play hard. He's gonna run the floor hard. He's gonna crash the rebounds more. I think he's trying to transition. I know in his younger years, a couple years ago, he was playing that 5. So I think he's trying to transition from the 5 to the 3 or to the 4. So which I think he's capable of. But one thing about Max J, he's gonna play hard, he's gonna run the floor hard, he's gonna screen hard, and he's gonna rebound hard and definitely gonna finish around the rim. So he's about 6'3". Max might be like 6'3", 6'4". So yeah, got a long way to go. Long way to go. A lot of basketball to be played, and then I don't know if he, who's will to be determined if he's done growing or not. But hasn't moved a whole lot in the last year or two as far as his height, but being 6'4" and knowing how to do those small things, will definitely get you to the next level. I think he'll probably utilize this season to kind of work on those, catch and shoots, knocking down the little 15-footer, to be efficient in knocking down and being confident and taking that shot. So, yeah, I think Max is definitely a good, one of the top players here in the state of Ohio. He's down there in Cincinnati area too.
Yeah, yeah. Cincinnati
Mhm.
got a lot of the top talent, man. Cincinnati
Mhm.
areas. What division is Summit Day, or what do you know? What are they? I know they a lower
Mm.
division too.
Yeah, they're like six. They're like six or either between that 4 and 6 mark. So I'm not for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're not. He got a good chance. I think Max and them should be able to be one of the favorites to get to that Final Four in their division for sure. They should definitely be. Anytime anytime you're in that top 1 through 5 or that 1 through 7, you should your program should definitely. I'm sorry, your school program should definitely be that Final Four area minimum, in my opinion. Maybe Elite 8, give or take. But if you're in that 1 through 7, 1 through 10, I think your school should definitely be in that conversation for a good Elite 8 or Final Four.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Max Joyner, man. He seems. I guess. He has got. They said he got some good. He's got some looks from Purdue and Notre Dame, so he's getting some college interest out there.
Well, let me say this too, because no 2028 kid can officially be offered by the school just yet. June 15th, 2026 is the official day where schools can give you hard offers to that particular player and that particular player's family. So what you can do, and you can call the university, hey, we'd like to take a visit, and some families do that, and the schools will allow you to take a visit, and then you can, if you have that relationship with the coach, hey, coach, can I put the jersey on or something like that? Okay, and then take a photo or two. You can kind of work it that way. But none of the kids in 2028, not only in Ohio but across the nation, cannot legally, NCAA legally cannot offer a hard offer. That means an official offer, with saying, "Hey, we're offering this kid." I just want to be clear for the ones that might be able to. You might not know it. My host, he might not know it to be. Uh, but again, these are not official hard offers. These are, hey, you're on the board, we're interested, but we're going to be watching. Those are those type of interests, which we call those soft interests, soft offers. You know what I mean? So just to be clear, once again, these are not official offers. Now, June 15th, 2026, that watch the Instagram, IG basketball streets, watch the Twitters, because some of these kids will be getting official hard offers. So I just want to be clear, when you say he's been offered or something about Purdue, and then I know
yeah.
you had a couple of mentions
Yeah.
about Ohio
Yeah.
State. These aren't official offers. So I just want to
Okay.
be clear
Yeah.
about that.
For sure. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Good. That's good information, man. That's good
Yeah, I
information
wanted to
for all of
give
us. I didn't
you
know that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know that, man.
I wanted to give you clarity. I wanted to give you
Yeah.
clarity, just like the 2027 class just officially got hard offers June 15th, 2025 for the
Hmm.
2027 class. So you can't really get guys that's coming out in the 7th or 8th grade oh, this school's offering, no, it's not a hard offer. It's
Yeah,
just to say, hey, we like your game. You're on our board, but trust me, it's not an official offer. It's a good conversation starter when you're in your small little circles, or you're bragging to your friends and your family and your community. Oh, my son got an offer, and then what you got? Is not official. It's
yeah,
it's just say, hey, you're on the board, and especially since the college basketball um, infrastructure is, you have coaches like Coach Tom Izzo, you have coaches like Coach Calipari, who just made a statement and said, hey, there's not even going to be no more high school basketball players if they continue to go get guys that have been drafted in the 2023 class for the NBA, and saying, hey, we're going to give these guys eligibility. So eighth graders and ninth graders getting offered now. It's a good conversation piece. It's very, very nice to be mentioned by the university to say, hey, he's on the board, but they're not offers, man. So I wanted to just clear that up.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. I didn't know that for sure, man. Because yeah, I was over here, but I won't say. I definitely won't say that no more. So I didn't. I did not know that for sure.
Yeah, can't get the 2028 class can't get officially offered until June 15th, 2026. Watch out for that day, Lord willing. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of these kids on the list will get official offers
yeah,
June 15th, 2026, for sure. I mean,
yeah.
you'll wake up that morning, and you'll be seeing it throughout the afternoon and throughout the evening, who got offered and who got what. And that might be from mid major, that might be from high major, Division 1, Division 2. Pardon me. But yeah, just wanted to give you clarity. So who are we at now?
All right, yeah. Let's move on. We're gonna go to Xavier Jones from Westerville South.
Okay. What list are we at now?
Well, I just been going. I ain't. I've been going. I'm just going on the consensus. I'm just putting. I ain't going. I'm just like I told you. The prep hoops list and Georgia's list is pretty much the same. So I was just been
Okay.
going off of.
So you
I've
kind
been
of
going
going
off
back
of
and
them.
forth off of those two?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
What do you
Max
know about
Max was number.
Xavier?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think you said Xavier's number 4 or 5.
He's number 4 on the preps hoops list, but he's number on Georgia's list. Yeah. Let's see. He's 6 on Georgia's list,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
I
on
mean,
the prep.
we can talk about Xavier. What did you know about him? I know he's at Westerville South.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much. Like I said, these everybody else that I haven't seen Xavier play. I seen some clips of him. I see he had 36 points a couple games ago against Pickerington North in a I think it was double overtime or overtime game.
That was like early December, I want to say.
Yeah, so
Um, like
that's
that was like it wasn't early December. It was like during that Thanksgiving break.
mhm,
So it was like roughly like the end of, I don't think the kids went back to school till like December 1st or something like that. So it was like maybe on that eve and that weekend and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. That was a good game.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Xavier,
they ended up winning that. I think they ended up winning that game too, if I
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
mistaken.
they won. They
Mhm.
won. Yeah, they won that game. Yeah, like I said, I really don't know too much about him. He looked like he got, like I said, he seemed like he got good size.
Mhm.
Like I said, I haven't really seen him play, man, so I can't really say too much about him. I've heard about him. I heard his name. I've seen some little clips here and there, but I really don't know too much about Xavier personally. I haven't seen him personally
Mhm.
play live in person, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
been hearing the name. I've been hearing his name, so I know he one of the names that's out there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's another one that, kind of he gets potential and size, the things that I mentioned. Um play Had a decent AAU season with Aloha Red, in those 12 games. Got a lot to work on, got a lot to work on. Been kind of up and down year for them. He's at Westerville South, which is division, I want to say 1 or 2. So, he'll play against the Westerville Norths. I think they already played against Westerville North this past season. I mean, not this past season, pardon me. this past December or November. Wasn't the best showing, but I think it's a lot room for growth for sure. Get his, has a few things to work on. But definitely tall, smooth, can hit the two, can hit the mid range. You know, uh, maybe work on the motor a little bit. You know, work on his team basketball skills first. Become an overall around player. I think that will always help a player and a potential prospect. When you can make your team better, that would definitely help. And I think he impacts the possession from time to time. I know they played against Grove City in the it was the not cure for cancer, but the convention center. I don't know what that was. I think that was like
Holiday
bleacher.
hoopla.
I think that's bleacher prospects event, and they played against Grove City, and I seen the tail end of it, but I just think it was a tough showing that game. I think they lost by like 25 or something like that. And that was against the Grove City, but Grove City's a Division I team, so again, these are the differences between Division I and Division II. So Grove City's a tough team in their conference. And I think he has a bright future, man. Very very young. I think he's just had a birthday or something like that. So we'll see how he develops throughout the rest of the season.
Okay. All
But,
right.
but again, I think, like I said, I have a for me, it's just an expectation. I think you got to win. You got to win your conference. You have to win your rivalry games. Those are games when you have rivalry games. You have to be able to show up. I think like he showed up against Pickerington North, but you have to show up. You have to show up, and you got to show up consistently. I don't think anybody should get a pass, especially if you're 1 through 5 with, going with the roller coaster thing. Where you hot 1 minute with a 30 ball game, but then the next two games you give you 8 points. You give you 6 points, but you're starting and you're playing the whole game. So, not saying that was Xavier. I just used that as illustration to say, these are kind of expectations for me. And again, this is my opinion. It doesn't have to have dominion, you know what I mean? Just like the opinion of the rankings. Those don't have to have dominion for players that want to be ranked or, be considered. But I think from a coach, from one who loves the game, these are some expectations that's going to come with being ranked high. You got to be able to produce. I think there was one coach that was on Coach Howard's show that was talking about. I don't know if it was Dayton. It was one of the coaches. There was a Dayton coach, and there was another coach on there. I want to say from the University of Cincinnati, and or he might have been Xavier, but it was from the Cincinnati area. But they was both kind of talking about how a lot of the kids that were ranked high that they recruited, they get to their universities and there's like, where are you at? You know what I mean? Like, how are you showing up? So, I think that's important to kind of hear these college coaches saying, hey, who if you're ranked high, you got there's a standard behind these guys. You can't be taking games off. You can't be taking possessions off. And I'm not again, this is a sidebar. I'm not saying Xavier Jones. This is just coming that it's led for me to lead to say this, that you have to be able to be consistent. You have to be able to rise to expectations. Especially if you're top in the state. You gotta get a conference, you gotta get a district, you gotta be in that conversation. If you gotta be in that conversation for your team to be able to compete for a district championship. You should be able, it's in Ohio, it's win or go home, especially after that district. You don't get a chance to get another game, so those are things that those guys being ranked and want to be ranked, you got to take into consideration. Your potential is only going to take you so far, and that's what the college coach was saying on the podcast, saying, "Hey, we you're gonna be on the bench with us. You ain't producing. So the game of basketball is about production. You winning today's game with yesterday's score is only gonna take you so far.
Right. All right. Yeah, that's good.
So who we at now? Where we at now? Number
All right.
5?
Yeah, we got two. I'm just gonna we're gonna do two more. I got two more for us. We gonna end off with. So I just got one more before we end off with the king, man. Deshawn Coffee from Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Cincinnati kid, another 513 kid.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm just he's another name that I've been seeing popping up. I don't really know. I haven't seen him play. I seen
Lil Wolf,
George
Lil
just
Wolf.
put out a little post about how saying he's one of the best guards in the state. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's giving him giving him a lot of respect. So like I said,
rightfully so.
he's
Rightfully so.
okay. Yeah, like I said, I
Jay
haven't
Sean
seen.
been seeing him started off with Barfariel with my dude Carlos Davis. Uh, him and Cam and in that 513 area, but been playing up against Jay Sean for the last couple years. I want to say since 7th grade, 8th grade. But Jay Sean is a tough guard. About 6 footer. Tough point guard. You know what I mean? In a lesser division, lesser conference down there in Lebanon, but a guy that can get it done. I think he plays with Phenom United. But getting tough, going to give you everything, going to compete on both ends of the floor, going to get his teammates involved. He can go get you a bucket. He can score at will. He can get it out. He can run the play in the possession if you and run the show if you need him to. But scrappy guy on defense. So Jay Sean is definitely one that in the Cincinnati area knows definitely about Mr. Lil Wolf and Jay Sean Coffee. I like to call him Lil Wolf, his dad Big Wolf, you know what I mean? So shout out to them down there, the Coffee Boys down there in the Cincinnati area, man. But tough kid, tough player, somebody you want to go to war with, and definitely gonna be making some noise down there at Lebanon to the best of his abilities. But again,
Okay.
not a big type of school. I don't know if he has much to kind of work with at his school, but one thing about him, he's gonna give you everything. He's gonna stuff the stat sheet. He's gonna assist some defensive rebounds, some offensive rebounds. He's gonna do a little bit of everything. So Deshaun is definitely one of the top guards here in the state.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I've been hearing a lot about him, man. So he's one I'm definitely he on my radar to go check out,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah,
I
he's
haven't
Cincinnati. I don't know you might not. I don't know if you're going down there at all, but yeah, you probably had to catch him on the gram or something, But and then see them what they doing on in their school on Max Preps. You can see all these guys' school, and from what you can't see what they're doing individually unless their school posts that to Max Preps, but you can definitely see as far as the wins and who and the schedule on who they're playing and the overall win or loss. I think Max Preps does a good job of giving you game recaps where you can kind of see how the game went, who scored what on these possessions. Pardon me again. And but yeah, Max Preps is definitely one to just kind of if you can't get to the games, you can always go see, the box score and just, what's the kind of articles that's being written on Max Preps and you can see overall win or losses to that particular game.
yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Deshaun Coffee, like what did Lebanon, how did they do last year? Did they do anything in the tournament last year?
Nah, nah. Hey, it's rough. It's rough, but I think a lot of the from what I've heard, what I've been told that a lot of the kids that play basketball are like lacrosse. They're really big in like lacrosse and baseball and maybe even some football, but they're not really. They just kind of passing, not necessarily passing time, but just kind of feeling they're not really like Jashawn is. I think he's a one sport athlete. He does basketball all year round, so it's going to be kind of hard and the names that you mentioned are all kind of like basketball year round. So it's just a little tough when you don't have guys that you can, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that uh, play basketball year round.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they again, like I said, I gave mention a lesser conference, but Deshawn gonna do his best to get them boys. That's one thing about him. Deshawn ain't running from no smoke. He ain't running from no competition. He's a competitor by nature, and so that's one thing he's going to do, man. He's going to compete, and he's going to give his all to the best of his abilities. So that's something that you can expect from him, win or lose.
Okay.
And so I know we played them this past spring in at what was that? Cincinnati Spooky Nook, and it was a good game. It gave his all, gave a good showing, but just didn't get it done that day against us.
I got you. I got you.
But
Yeah.
but compete, but a competitor, and one thing about rankings, people got to understand it's a team game. This is a team game, bro. And so it's so hard. It's kind of challenging. I know I mentioned those expectations on the individual player, but there is a responsibility to make that team around you better. But it's just you got. It's still a team game at the end of the day. So it's still a team game, and you're gonna lose some games. You're gonna win some games, but you know they just got to be able to compete and impact those possessions to put your team in the best position to win.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I said, man, I'm definitely gonna check him out. I've been hearing a lot about him, man. So, let's say we're gonna wrap it up, man. Last
Yeah.
but not least, Mr. Mai Rody, the king of
What
our,
do
the
you
king
think?
of our,
What do you think about Makai, man?
Makai, man. Like I told you, man, I love Makai's game. One thing I would say, this is what I'll be trying to tell you about Makai. This is some things that people who've been talking to me who don't know that I know you, who they be when I tell them they a lot of people tell me they'll say that Makai dribbles too much. And I always tell them, I was like, and I say, like, man, I was like, well, I was like, you think he dribble? I was like, why you think he dribble? I was like, man, me personally, and this is what I tell them. I say, man, I was like,
Mhm.
well, he's doing what he's supposed to do in that situation because when I look at y'all's team, this is what I've told you about y'all's team. I feel like y'all's team chemistry. I don't know what kind of offense y'all run first off, so
Mhm.
I feel like the offense that he's in puts him in a situation where he has to create like that. So
Mhm.
him having to do that may make you feel like he does dribble too much or does that. Me personally, I ain't. I wasn't thinking that. I'm just trying to tell you that those are some of the criticisms that people be telling me about him. But me personally, man,
Mhm.
I'm almost like you, man, for real. When it comes to Makai, man, I'm biased, man. Like, cause I love Makai's game, man. I feel like, man, he just like I told y'all, all these boys, they young. I feel like he still has so much more to grow. He's
Mhm.
really he hasn't really found his game yet. So and that's why I feel like that's why I always talk to you about just making sure, man, with elite athletes, I feel like the best thing for them to do and with Makai is to learn this your IQ, man. Like they can play basketball, but if you don't know how to play the right way and how to make the right plays and in the right situations, you know, that'll be a detriment. But when it comes to Makai, man, I feel like, man, sky's the limit for him, man, because he's been on a quality team. He's been in good. He's been played against top competition since last year. So that's why I feel like Reynoldsburg being Division 1 and being at that top level is preparing him for the next level. Um, so me personally, man, it ain't really too much Kai can do wrong, man. I just want to just keep seeing him grow, man. Because right
Mhm.
now, I just feel like he young right now, man, and the mistakes that he's making right now, he ain't gonna make them tomorrow. So that's
Mhm.
how I look at it with him, man. Like I said, That's why I mess with you, Roddy, because I know he a student of the game, man. You gonna give him good food, man. He just gotta just suck it up, man, and just take it in. As long as he keep taking this in and keep learning, man, he can do
Yeah.
whatever he want to do, man. So
Mhm.
that's why
Yeah.
that's why I love Kai, man. Just because he got you, man. He got a good representation. He got somebody that's giving him the game and giving it to him the way he got to give it, and he receptive to it. So, and that's another reason why I love him too, because he receptive to the knowledge, man. So,
Mhm.
me personally, man, I just want to see him keep growing, man. Just keep getting better, man. Every game is a learning experience, man. Every
Mhm.
every 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 game is different. Every game is going. You ain't gonna always play good, So you got to know how to overcome them games where you don't win. Like what I would say about y'all right now, that's why I can't, man. I know you. I can't wait for this Spire game. I don't know if you see Spire. They just beat Arizona Compass today, man, by 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Spires
Yeah.
is on the
Yeah.
road. They won the John. They
Aspire's gonna
won the
be
John
Aspire's
Wall.
gonna be yeah.
They
Go ahead.
they so that's all that.
Spire's
Man,
gonna be a tough Spire's gonna be a tough matchup because they're big. And
yeah,
we don't I don't think we
yeah,
utilize our big. We don't
yeah,
utilize our length to the best of our ability. We got a 6'6" and a 6'5" on our bench that, doesn't I think you put those guys anywhere else, they'll probably be starters. So, that's to the coaching staff and that's, what they decide, deem is ready. I think we have a long team, we have a big team, but we just don't utilize those. But let's get back to I think with the crit. I think in our community, people are gonna be quick to minimize and criticize. Anybody for every possession or any that's applicable in our community with every lifestyle that a person chooses. From your respective careers. People black our community in that perspective will say you doing it wrong this way, or they don't like you doing it. They don't think you could be doing it. You should do it this way, before they say something positive about the beautiful things and the wonderful things that you do to your respective career. That you do benefit. That the career benefits from what you choose to do. So it's just the nature of us, we can't please everybody. One thing I've taught Makai is that we don't play this game for, validation from somebody else. You know what I mean? Like if you trying to play for validation, you know what I mean, to be like, hey, call such and such so he can verify what I did. That's you need to be looking at yourself to try to be like, man, what you trying to prove? You know what I mean? So, I've that's the first that I've heard somebody saying that, hey, Makai dribble too much because I I don't we haven't trained to be a dribbler. You know what I'm saying? Like I know little dribbles, and you can kind of go back and watch my content to be like I know kids that's not ranked or that's ranked high that take 10, 11 dribbles before they shoot. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think you've ever seen a clip where you've seen Makai dribble, let alone 11 or 10 times, let alone 5 times to get a shot off. I just, so maybe they was just in a wrong, maybe they seen him in a different possession, but every possession's different. You know what I mean? So, we're not concerned with people that try to minimize and criticize. That's just a part of the game. And that's their opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's ask those same people where's their sons at? You know what I mean? Like what did their sons do?
yeah.
What did what did their
I
nephews do?
that's
You know
what
what I
that's why I
mean?
said. Listen, man. That's why when I don't no, I don't want you to dwell on that.
No,
I'm
no,
telling
no.
you that.
No, because
Yeah,
I don't.
nah, nah. I'm
It,
just I'm telling you. I told you that because I just wanted to tell you that because
no.
that's they was
It's
telling me they were saying this to me and I'm like hold up man like
Yeah, I have never seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about the expectation of impacting the possession, impacting your team, Makai didn't have a loaded middle school team. You know what I'm saying? Like and he was able to help his teammates produce so much in those possessions that we was able to win back-to-back middle school championships.
Yeah.
We'll move along to this season. We played against Groveport, and Makai was hurt. He was hurt the game before all week, didn't practice, um, and was hurt. And when he came back, he didn't even start. We were down 10 against Groveport the first quarter. You can see it on my
I
thing where
he didn't start.
it
I
was
didn't know he didn't
it
start
was
that game.
12. It was
I didn't know
huh?
it. He didn't
No,
start
he
that
didn't
game.
start. That's why if you go back to my the tape, that highlight tape, I'll show you the score, and then he's at the scores table about to check in. It was 12-2 at that first quarter and this is at Williamsburg. This is at our house where it's 12-2. Makai's about to check in. At the end of the first quarter, it was 18-14. So let's think about that. We were down 10. There are 8-minute quarters. Makai comes in at like the 5-minute mark. The score is 12, Groveport's 12 to Reynoldsburg's 2. By the end of the first quarter, it was 18 Reynoldsburg to 14 Groveport. So let's look at that efficiency just off that mathematics alone. That's a 16-point turnaround in 5 minutes, of 16-2 run that he produced once he got on the floor. You can't do that by dribbling too much. So when you talk about people that know basketball, and we were able to win comfortably against Groveport, and Groveport is a favorite to win the Division I in the conference. If you asked a lot of people before the season started, a lot of people had Newark, Groveport, and then Reynoldsburg in our conference to win. So you talk about a favorite to win the conference, to be a 16-2 run. I mean, who's doing that?
Oh, I
He
said, man.
finished with 20. He finished with 20 points off of 11 shots that night. He was 6 from 11 from field. So, you know, these are little things that, guys, like I said, man, it's just in the human nature to minimize and criticize anybody when it comes to just whatever they're doing, and in your conversation, man. And we
Yeah,
don't try to please anybody. It's good to be mentioned on those ranking lists. I think George was he did his due diligence and been watching a lot of those games. We're playing high level non-conference teams around the state.
yeah,
Was able to have 17 points on Lutheran East.
yep.
Was able to play against Lakota West, who was the Division I state favorite, and we only lost that game by 2. Was able to have 13 points in that game, and only had 13 points on like 6, 7 shots. So he's not shooting the ball a lot, but he's not also missing a lot of shots. With and he only played 5.5 games for Reynoldsburg. So uh, it's people. I'm just talking about facts, man. Not just because he's my son. He's a warrior. He's a warrior. He's not gonna make no excuse. And the one thing about Makai is he's not gonna run from the competition. And what I mean by that, if this is the best player, I got this player. I don't see a lot of those guys on these ranking lists, and that's in front of him, saying, "Hey, if this guy is number 1, number 2, number 3, let me guard him." We go back to that Lutheran East game where Ziggler is ranked high level. Makai guarded Ziggler. Ziggler didn't want to guard Makai. So let's just put that in perspective. If you got somebody guarding you, you should want to guard that person back. So again, We take it with a grain of salt. We're still 15 years old, still learning the game, and definitely got a high IQ because we're not shooting the ball a lot. He's shooting over 70% from the field. He is 70% from the field. He's shooting 90% from the free throw line. He's shooting 55% from the three-point line. Let that sink in. He's leading Reynoldsburg basketball team in field goal percentage makes at 70%. That should
That's
say a
great.
lot. When you
That's
talk
great.
about Jay-Z, the legendary Jay-Z had a line that everybody knew, but nobody wanted to say it. You know the line that I'm about to say. Men lie, women lie. What?
Numbers don't.
Numbers don't.
Yeah, they don't, man. That's a
They
that's a
don't.
that's official. That's official.
And
Seventy
we can't.
percent
And
as a
we can't.
guard. 70% as a guard. That's great.
That's great. Yeah. And we'll see if he sustains that during the whole rest of the season. But when you got coaches literally picking him up full court and he's not touching the ball, trying to deny him the ball, that's a sign of respect.
Sure, for sure.
And when you got a coach picking him up full court and he doesn't have the ball, but doesn't have any soft or hard offers, that's when you got two Division I players that he's playing with, and they're not picking them up full court. They're not guarding them to make sure they don't have the ball. That should tell you something if you're a basketball connoisseur. Yeah, that should say a lot to you that, hey, this guy don't got no offers. Why are you picking him up? Full court.
Yeah,
You don't
man.
want him. Why don't you want him to touch the basketball?
Like I told you, yeah, I told you, man, Roddy, I ain't never seen a player, man, who every game I done went to, man, the other team, man, gives this man so much like that. I'm like, man, dude, the other players know, man. Like that's how it's supposed to be. When the other players know,
Yeah,
that's
but the
that's
players is being coached. So the coach is telling these players.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. They didn't
yeah,
told him. Yeah, they didn't told him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't pick up the other Division I player that they got. You got to pick up the second Division I player where we're saying he can't touch us. When you got a guard face guarding him the whole time and he's still able to shoot 70% from the field, I mean, I don't know if those other guys that we mentioned are facing that type of pressure. I don't know if we got these other guards or these other players that we mentioned are shooting 70, 90, and 55% from three. These are facts now.
Keep them coming, man.
Again, I'm going to go back to the Groveport game. It was 12-2 in the first quarter, Groveport at Reynoldsburg. By the end of the first quarter, when he got in, it was 18-14. Hey, so, but I take it with a grain of salt, man. I think he's respected by his peers, which is the most important. He's respected by his basketball community, those counterparts, some teammates and opponents alike. Got a lot of friends in the game, but again, when you get admiration and you get respect from your peers, that's more validating than anybody else's opinion. Because, like you said, man, those players know hey, this guy's a dog. This guy's a killer. And not only does he do it at a high level on his respective team, Makai did it in 8 games, averaging 17 points a game for EYBL in 8 games. 17, 4, and 4. Had a couple blocks, had a couple steals in there too. So, this is a player that's gonna give you everything, whether we're locally, whether we're statewide, or whether we're now nationally based, you know what I mean, and playing national. So, that's why he's a well recruited kid, here in amongst the basketball world in different states and things like that for different programs and stuff like that, AAU. So we'll see what we do. we'll see. We'll see how we go, but we're excited to, it's definitely a honor for the guys who put up those ranking lists to give acknowledgement to say, hey, Makai has a motor. He's play hard. He gives it on every possession. He's going to compete. He's going to contribute something to the game. He's going to contribute something to the teammate. And one thing about Makai, he's strong. And he's not afraid to rebound. He's not afraid to, guard the toughest player, the toughest matchup. I mean, there was several possessions Makai was guarding Bryce Curry and Tyson. I forgot his last name.
Joshua
He
Tyson.
Tyson, yeah, Tyson, Joshua.
Josh Tyson.
Yeah, Josh Tyson. Sorry about that, audience. So those are respectable type of things that I look for as a competitor that you don't want to run away from, man. So I know any coaches that's going to be taking the opportunity to recruit Makai. I know what they're going to get, and he's not done growing, and he's getting, he's coming back healthier. We're excited about Tuesday's matchup versus Pickerington Central. That's going to be another banger. Going to be a sold out game. And then we go look forward to playing Newark at Newark the following Tuesday. So, and then obviously the big game that you mentioned that following Friday, which is Spire. It's going to be an exciting game. Hopefully we can come big and we can come long. Because I think a team like that, you want to play big. You want to play big. But that's up to the coaching staff. However the coaches deem fit. But again, we look forward to the matchup. We look forward to the opportunity. We look forward to the event, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man.
Yep.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, man. I just wanted to give a little breakdown of the 2028 class, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man, Roddy, man, getting it
Sure.
in.
Sure,
And
man.
everybody just keep tapping in. All these names that we mentioned, go check out all these young men. They all excellent players, all highly
Phenomenal.
skilled. So
Mm-hmm.
go check them all out. Like I said, I give George Howard, Prep Hoops, Bleacher Prospect. Thanks for the information we was able
Yep.
to put out here, and you know what I'm saying. We
We ain't
want
shouting out Bleacher. We ain't shouting out Bleacher Prospect, man. They don't. I don't know what they was doing, but no. So now I just want to
to.
say, shout out to everybody on the list. Shout out to the fellas that put together the list. You know, well wishes to everybody through the second half of the season. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas break, wonderful Happy New Year with your family and friends and your loved ones. And let's make 2026 Columbus, Ohio, and Ohio basketball great. Let's make it great. Let's try to find ways to collectivize. Whether it be a podcast, whether it be a videographer, whether it be a parent. Let's just try to make it great and collectivize with making it great here in the state. Because that helps the game look good, and that helps the little, the second graders, the second grade parent, the third grade, the kindergarten parent that's going to be coming up. Privileged to watch this live, hopefully to replay this live, or be able to run into a Coach Roddy or a Ron Hemp or a George Howard, and hopefully that we can be the ones in the voice that can change what needs to be done for our state of Ohio basketball to make it great. So again, I just want to shout out to everybody that's watching and that's going to be watching this replay in the future. But let's just try to collectivize and let's take the envy. Let's take those spirits, the envy, the jealousy, the negativity out of these ranking lists, man. Let's do it right for the state of Ohio basketball. And if that's your way of, not putting basketball intention as a high priority when you're coming to your ranking list, you know, I don't think you need to be, making no ranking list, But again, that's your opinion. But I think potential, but basketball intention, and again, I want to be clear on basketball intention, and I'll get out of here on this. Basketball intention is basketball, impacting winning, playing hard, impacting the possession, elevating this team, leadership, consistency, efficiency, those type of characteristics that deal with basketball, and let that be a big influence on your decision when you're putting a ranking list, not potential first and not the social media influence and not the physicality first, because there's some small guys in this game that's tough, around Central Ohio. There's some small guys that's deserving in North Cleveland, Ohio, in Cincinnati, Ohio. So let's just think about the basketball intent. And always remember, the revelation is the why. Why are you going to put together this ranking list? Why are you going to help the basketball community? What can you do to be a blessing to the basketball community? And we just doing our little part, one live at a time, man. So RB, thank you, bro. And I know I'm gonna be seeing you out soon. And blessings to the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Right, bro.
All right, fellas. All right,
All
everybody. Appreciate y'all
right.
tuning in. It's a good another RDB episode. Appreciate everybody tuning in. See you when I get there. One.
Hey, drink your water too, man. Drink your water, young athletes, man. Get your water, man. Shout out to this Fiji, man. Get your water though, man. Drink your water though, for sure, man. Let's endorse. Let's make drinking water cool, man. So
Oh,
we
drink
want to
water, no
endorse.
doubt. Drink
Man, let's
water.
drink your water now. All right, now see y'all athletes in the near future, man. Don't hesitate to show us some love when y'all see us, man. Peace out.
Peace. Like and subscribe to the show, RDB21. See y'all. See you when I get there. One.